Charlie, we're ready to rock.
Okay, quick question. I don't want you to think about it too hard because thinking about it too hard is kind of the whole problem. Why does every apartment on your feed have the same 3 plants, the same arched mirror, and the same beige linen throne that costs more than your rent?
Never done.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Chasing the light.
And why the hell does everyone talk like a LinkedIn caption? Why is every 26-year-old skincare routine identical down to the exact serum? Why does everyone discover the same hidden gem restaurant in the same week? Order the same drink, strike the same pose in front of the same wall that 100,000 other people have already stood in front of? You see, you didn't choose that wall. The wall chose you.
What?
Through endless songs. We're breaking the night. Chasing the light.
There is a trend going around right now that makes this almost embarrassingly literal. I'm not making this up. It's called Kinda Chic. The format is simple. Post a photo, add a caption that starts with Kinda Chic too, and fill in the blank with something you want people to admire about your unglamorous, aspirational, or mildly rebellious life. Kinda chic to call the Upper East Side home. Kinda chic to make all your big decisions in the bath. Searches for the phrase have reportedly jumped by thousands of percent in a matter of weeks. One fashion editor already has a name for what happens next.
Breaking the night. Chasing the light.
Once 100,000 people are running the exact same script through the exact same filter, she calls it template slop. And that's the whole episode, honestly. We would stop there, but we're not going to because the interesting part isn't that people are copying a caption format. People have always copied caption formats. The interesting part is what's underneath it. The algorithm doesn't have to tell you what to think, what to wear, and who to be. It just has to keep showing you what everyone else is already doing. And it turns out that's more than enough. We are, right now, running the oldest software in human psychology, the need to belong, through the newest hardware ever built to detect and exploit it. And most of us think we're being original the entire time we're doing it. Welcome to the Unusual Practice.
Unusual Practice. We read the studies you pretend to quote. We question everything, especially the experts. It's the show that does the research so you don't have to, and saves you from another TED Talk while we're at it. Unusual Practice, where thinking's still a thing.
Okay, so here's the pitch every platform makes you. Whether they say it out loud or not, your feed is uniquely yours. It's built for you, trained on you. Nobody else on earth sees exactly what you see. Which is technically true and functionally a lie, because millions of people are being fed increasingly similar patterns dressed up as personality discovery. And here's the loop. And I want you to actually picture it because once you see it, you can't quite unsee it. So here, you watch something, right? The algorithm notices. It shows you more of that thing. You see it again and again until repetition starts to feel like consensus. Everyone is doing this, so this must be normal or good or correct. You start to imitate it half consciously. A creator notices what's landing and repeats it because repeating it pays the bills. The algorithm notices the creator's success and distributes that content even further. And the loop tightens once again. Researchers studying this exact mechanism on TikTok recently ran what's called a sock puppet audit. They built bot accounts with specific interests and let the platform's recommendation system do its thing. Then measured what happened. The amplification kicked in so damn fast. Within roughly the first 200 videos watched, content aligned with an account's interest was being strongly and consistently reinforced. And as that alignment increased, the diversity of what the bots were exposed to declined sharply. Less variety in, less variety out. So, some researchers have started calling this kind of environment a social interest cluster rather than a social network, which sounds bureaucratic, but it's actually the perfect phrase because it tells you something a little chilling. You are no longer necessarily connected to the people that you know. You're grouped with strangers who share your consumption patterns, and the group is what gets served the content together on repeat until you all start looking, sounding, and thinking like variations on the same theme. That's the paradox. The more personalized your feed becomes, the more standardized your actual behavior becomes. Personalization was supposed to be the opposite of mass culture. Instead, it might be mass culture's most efficient delivery system yet. It just feels intimate while it does it.
Darling, you found me. A sweet, a clever. We will never part again.
Before all of this, culture moved in a fairly simple line. Something happened, it became a trend, people adopted it. Slow, messy, regionally lumpy. A trend in Manchester might take 3 years to reach Melbourne, if it ever did. Now the sequence has flipped and it moves at machine speed. A behavior occurs, the algorithm detects it, the algorithm amplifies it, everyone sees it at once, everyone adopts it at once, and the algorithm detects even more of it, which triggers another round of amplification. Look at the trend timeline we just talked about. One early kinda chic post went up on Instagram in April, picking up a few hundred likes over months. Nothing special. Then, in late July, a TikTok version pulled in tens of thousands of views in about 2 weeks. Days later, another version, this one riffing on body image, picked up close to 200,000 likes in 5 days. A day after that, a celebrity posted her own version and racked up over 170,000 likes in under a week. From a few hundred likes to mainstream celebrity endorsement in roughly 14 weeks. That's not culture spreading. That's a reality being manufactured in real time. And manufactured is the right word because something doesn't have to be objectively popular to take over your feed. It just has to be made visible enough that it starts to feel popular. And feeling popular is functionally the same as being popular once enough people believe it.
Yeah, baby.
This is a self-fulfilling prophecy running at industrial scale. And the unsettling part is that none of the individual humans inside it did anything wrong. Nobody sat down and decided to manufacture a monoculture. It emerged automatically out of a system whose only real goal is to keep you watching a few seconds longer.
Oh, shit!
Now, here's where it stops being about captions and starts being about you. People aren't just copying outfits anymore. They're copying identities. You know the list because you've absorbed it, whether you wanted to or not. Clean girl, old money, that girl, mob wife, quite luxury, cottagecore, messy girl, wellness girl, soft life, dark feminine, corporate girl. Each one comes as a complete kit. The wardrobe, the vocabulary, the morning routine, the coffee order, the opinions about oat milk. You don't build the identity. You actually download it. Now, here's the question I want you sitting with. At what point does an aesthetic stop being something you genuinely enjoy and start being something you're performing for an audience that may or may not exist in the room with you? Because here's the darker follow-up. If your entire personality could be recreated from a Pinterest board, the colors, the objects, the phrases, the values, is it actually your personality? Or is it a costume so well fitted that you've stopped noticing the seams? I'm not being cute about this, guys. This matters because identity used to be built slowly, through friction, through disagreement, through boredom, through being forced to sit with your own specific, unglamorous, undocumented thoughts. Now, identity can be assembled in an afternoon from a mood board, and it will fit almost perfectly because it was designed by an algorithm that has watched millions of people build the exact same thing before you. All right, this is the part that's not about the algorithm anymore. It's more about us. Here's the contradiction. Most people don't actually want to be unique. They want to feel unique while still unmistakably belonging. Think about what we're actually asking for when we post something. It's two competing signals at once. Look at me, I'm different. And simultaneously, please, somebody recognize what I'm doing here. Because true originality is socially expensive. If nobody understands your reference, nobody validates it. If nobody validates it, it doesn't exist in any way that matters to your nervous system. So, instead of choosing originality, we choose something safer and smarter. Recognizable uniqueness. A little twist on a format everyone already understands. Different enough to feel like self-expression, familiar enough to guarantee an audience. That's a functioning social strategy, and it's exactly why trends work as well as they do. They let you say, I'm one of one, and I'm one of many in the same breath. Now, bring in the people making the content because they're caught in the same trap just from the other side of the camera. A creator finds a hook that works. Naturally, they repeat it. Everyone watching repeats the version that worked for them. And suddenly your feed is a hall of mirrors. Identical hooks, identical captions, identical camera angles, identical trending audio, identical 3-second pause before the reveal, identical, wait for it, identical opinions delivered with identical breathless urgency. And here's a twist that I think is the single most useful finding in this entire episode. A team of researchers built a tool to measure exactly how closely more than 85,000 TikTok dance videos match the typical version of a trend. Same moves, same timing, same energy versus videos that broke from the format. Their finding? Well, the videos that were more atypical, more differentiated from the trend, generated more engagement, not less. And that effect got stronger the more familiar the audience already was with the original trend. Meaning, the more times you'd seen the correct version, the more an unexpected departure from it actually rewarded the creator brave enough to attempt it. So, let's sit with that for a second because it inverts almost everything we assume about how to succeed online. We assume copying the winning formula exactly is the safe move. The data says the safe move is actually the losing move. Once your audience has seen the formula enough times to recognize a copy from a genuine variation. The thing the algorithm quietly trains creators to avoid, standing out, going off script, refusing the template, may be exactly the thing that makes them worth watching in the first place. Everyone's terrified of being different. The data suggests different is the one asset nobody can automate away from you.
That's the best idea I have heard all day.
Now let's add artificial intelligence into a system that was already flattening us before AI showed up to the party. AI is extraordinarily good at one specific thing: identifying patterns and reproducing them at scale. That's the whole trick. So, what happens when millions of people separately ask a machine to make their writing sound better, their branding cooler, their photos more aesthetic, their pitch more compelling? You get everyone converging on the machine's version of good, which was trained on everyone else's version of good, which means we're all being polished towards the exact same center of gravity.
You say freak like it's a bad thing.
At an advertising industry conference this year, platform executives from Snap, Meta, and Reddit independently raised the same concern from 3 different angles. Snap's own VP of product marketing put it plainly. The research shows AI is producing feeds of endless content that tend to look very similar. 3 competing companies, 3 different stages, and they all landed on the identical fear. Scale without sameness might not actually be possible. So here's the interesting question buried in all of that. If literally everyone uses AI to become more polished, more optimized, more on brand, does imperfection quietly become the only form of originality that is left standing? Does the typo, the wobble, the unfinished thought become the new luxury good? Because it's the one thing a machine trained on a billion polished examples can't convincingly fake. So here's where we leave the marketing conference and go back to where the show actually lives. Why do humans conform in the first place? Because for most of human history, belonging was not actually a preference. It was survival infrastructure. Being cast out of the group didn't mean a bruised ego. It meant facing predators, starvation, and exposure completely alone. Radical difference could get you killed, socially, and sometimes literally. Conformity isn't a modern weakness. It's ancient wiring built by consequences far more severe than a bad comment section. What we've done, essentially, is take that ancient writing, the part of your brain that scans a room for social cues before it does almost anything else, and plug it into a machine engineered specifically to exploit it at scale. 4,000 times a day on a screen you carry in your pocket. The algorithm doesn't need to say a word. It just has to whisper constantly in the background. Here's what people like you are doing. And your nervous system, running software that's tens of thousands of years old, responds exactly the way it was built to respond. Then I should probably do it too. You're not weak for feeling that pull. You are functioning exactly as designed, just not by anyone who has your actual interests in mind. Okay, so I'm not going to end this with a breathing exercise. That's not what we do here. Instead, I want you to try something for 7 days. And I want you to actually try it, not just nod along while you keep scrolling, because I did it. I want you to stop asking, what do I like? That question is compromised. It's already been shaped by 10,000 hours of exposure you did not consent to.
Chasing the light, world spins.
Ask instead, would I still choose this if I had never once seen anyone else choose it? Run it against your clothes, your music, the restaurant you're about to book because it's having a moment, your interior design choices, your political opinions, especially the ones you feel most certain about, your books, your wellness routine, who you're attracted to and why, what you think you want out of your career.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Then just notice. Honestly, without performing the noticing for anyone, how much of what you called taste actually survives the question? Most of it won't. That is not failure. It is, again, data. But whatever is left, whatever small, strange, unfashionable thing survives that filter, that's probably the closest thing you have to an actual self underneath the template.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
So here's where I want to leave you. If you removed the audience, removed the algorithm, and removed everyone else's opinion of you entirely, what would you still choose? Are we losing our individuality because technology is quietly controlling us? Or is it because being genuinely, inconveniently individual has always, long before any algorithm existed, been harder than simply belonging? All right, if any of that made you go quiet uncomfortable instead of laughing uncomfortable, good. That's the show working as intended. Follow this feed before the algorithm coincidentally decides you're not interested in psychology anymore. It does that. We have checked. New episodes next week, probably about something else you've been conditioned to think is entirely your own idea. Stay curious, stay bold, and stay convincing yourself that you are original.
Mom, somebody just followed me.